Hello, listeners. This is Lee Price.
This is Will Ford from Football 365.
And you're listening smartly to At the Bridge Pod, a Chelsea FC podcast, although I would describe it as the Chelsea FC podcast.
Magical from Eden Hazard. Kai Havertz in the Champions League final. Ivanovic! In the middle, it's just behind him. But it's tapped in by Hakim Ziyech. Matic with the ball driver. Matic takes the net off. Hat-trick hero. Cole Palmer wins an epic, sensational game.
It's time for another episode of At the Bridge Pod, your number one Chelsea FC podcast. Coming up on this episode,
we're sorry for the interruption to your regular At the Bridge Pod programming. Unlike last night's coverage, we promise not to cut the feed mid-episode. Oh, welcome back everyone to another episode of At the Bridge Pod, and I am your host Mike, and I am joined in this virtual room filled with a lion. I have Chris, and it is a very rare Friday show on a Friday. And of course, Chris, I want to know what you're looking forward to this weekend.
2 football games, hopefully going ahead.
Well, yes, they should do. I don't see why they wouldn't. I think it's just snow. Snow was mentioned, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it looks all right. Like, I think they should be fine. Got a cup game tomorrow. We're playing the team who are top of the division above, so that's a tough game.
Yeah, but you're pretty good. I've seen your recent posts suggesting that you just took over a team and then you beat the Harriers. I was quite impressed.
Yeah. That was good.
You're humble, but it's impressive.
And then Sunday, second against third, so another big game.
Another win, no doubts.
Hopefully, I'm hoping
no doubts.
so.
It's you, no doubts. For me, I've got a meal with the girlfriend and her family tomorrow. I'm looking forward to. That's nice. We're also going to a event which I will not reveal, because if I reveal the event, I will dox myself even more so than when I already doxed myself before. So that's way too local if I say it. So yeah, there's that. And I'll be baking. What am I baking? Oh, I'm baking sticky toffee blondies. So that's yeah, that'll be fun. I was like, when it's a bit of baking with me, all good. Games of the weekend though. Oh, lovely stuff I've got for you. Saturday, 2:30 p.m. Dortmund, Stuttgart, 3rd, 4th in the Bundesliga. That's a proper top four 6-pointer this. Only Bayern have conceded less goals than Dortmund and Stuttgart. Than Dortmund, sorry. And Stuttgart are in the better run of form. So could be a barn burner. What's that mean? I don't know. I don't know. It's a barn burner. There you go. That's it for Saturday. It's a bit shit other than that. Sunday, though, that's better. 12 o'clock. Oh, Steel City derby. Sheffield Wednesday versus Sheffield United. It's form, league position. I mean, it usually goes straight out the window, doesn't it? But these two teams are bottom 3 of the league. So
yeah, both
league position,
aren't they?
league position and form are kind of irrelevant here. But yeah, that should be quite fun. I'll enjoy that. And then it keeps coming, the derbies. We've got Arsenal, Spurs, North London derby. You don't need any more hype for that, do you? I mean, 4:30, get it watched. And then close out your weekend with another derby. Inter, AC Milan. The Derby della Madonnina. One of football's most iconic fixtures. Inter, they're the better team. Usually they're the better team. But Milan, they could get top. I think they can get top spot if they win and other stuff goes their way. So
yeah, the Serie A title race is crazy at the moment.
It's actually gotta say it. It's actually something worth watching. It's not a one-way street. So I always like a non. Yeah, I do enjoy that. What I do enjoy as well is a Shevva Shoutouts. So before we dive into that news, we've got Alec. Bachelor party went great. Went to a DIY workshop bar. We all made our own custom cribbage boards, put my fiance and I's initials, last name and wedding date on it, and was served a lot of wine. Ate dinner and finished the night playing a bunch of card and board games. Cheers from Wisconsin. Well, I'm glad you had a great party, to be fair. Fair play.
That actually sounds really nice.
It isn't too bad, is it? It's not too bad. Our listeners they do more than we do on a weekend. I'm jealous. Just jealousy from me. No. Well, I've got Haynes Connor as an Irish lad. I loved that mention from Mikey. We haven't had a moment like that in my lifetime. And a week ago, it looks impossible having lost to Armenia and needing a win against Portugal and Hungary. Up there with some of the best football memories I've had. And being a Chelsea fan, it's tough competition. Well, I hope you don't get to the final. And if you do, still hope you don't go through, obvious reasons, which I'll explain later. Genuinely, I can't take it away from him. I mean, it was fucking amazing for him. So I'm glad that you got to experience that. I really do, because it is cool. It is cool. And Poi, I remember thinking Ramirez really wasn't up for it in the Premier League the first few months. I actually thought he was shit. The jump in quality after a while was kind of astonishing from my point of view. When the host mentioned Mutu, I had a tear in my eye. What could have been? I know. Stop sniffing cocaine. Just don't do it. It's not hard.
No, I mean, it is a shame, the Mutu situation. But Ramirez, I reckon he could possibly be our most underrated player ever.
Ever?
Yeah. I don't think anyone ever talks about Ramirez, but he was brilliant.
I was just going to say Azpilicueta, but I think he's now rated.
Yeah, I think
properly
he's rated.
It's like, he's properly rated. Yeah, it could be a good. You don't hear anyone talk about Ramirez, actually.
No, you really don't. Like, I think it's because he didn't really do anything after Chelsea. So
good point.
it's almost like he kind of disappeared. So everyone forgot about him. But he was so good. I mean, that goal in the new camp alone. But he scored some other really good goals. Like, I just thought he was a real quality player.
Yeah, I mean, he was with us for what was it? 7 seasons? 6 seasons? 6 seasons. Yeah, 6 seasons, because he left in January, didn't he? He went to the Super League. And I know he ended his career at Palmeiras. I'm going to quickly look, because that feels like they won a Copa Libertadores with him. Let me have a look. Yes, he did. He won a Copa Libertadores with him in 2020. I thought he did. Oh, well, he's he's a quality player. He's a quality player. Oh, and he won our goal of the year twice against Man City and Barcelona. Okay.
Unbelievable.
Back-to-back seasons, that is. Oh, yeah, he's quality. Quality. And, of course, thank you as always for your reviews, thoughts, and everything else. If you want yours read out the show, head over to Spotify, drop one on this episode. We'll see if you get a shout out on Monday. So straight with that, we'll hit some news. Oh, it's that time of the week. We're going to check out things you may have missed in that elevator of Chelsea news. Philippe Jorgensen is considering a potential January exit from Chelsea to get more game time ahead of the second half of the season. Chelsea are not going to sanction, though, a loan for Philippe Jorgensen in January. Cole Palmer have returned to the grass at Chelsea's Cobham training ground and hopefully he'll step up work as long as he does not suffer any setbacks. We'll find out more in a minute. Enter Maresca was nominated for the best coach at the 2025 Globe Soccer Awards. Cole Palmer got nominated for the best men's player at the 2025 Globe Soccer Awards. Cole Palmer fractured his toe after stubbing it at home and missed the Burnley, Barcelona and Arsenal games. Paul Winstanley and Lawrence Stewart have been nominated for the Best Sporting Director at the 2025 Globe Soccer Awards. And finally, the BBC spoke to multiple fan writers for their Season So Far report card series. And it's our sister club that I'm going to, our Brighton. Yes, one of the very best I saw. And I've got an extract from it. So, Scott was their writer. And he was asked, what do you want Hertzler to give you more of? Where's he gone with? He's put Instagram posts of him riding his electric bicycle around the city. On the subject of Hertzler, his choice of dugout attire has become something of an obsession for me, and with good reason. Tracksuit Hertzler has 5 wins, 2 draws, 1 defeat, 23 goals scored. Hertzler dressed like he's going ice skating at the Royal Pavilion has 1 win, 2 draws, 3 defeats, and 6 goals scored. I love that. It's so random. Hertzler's a bit like Nagelsmann, where their outfits they're like, okay, what?
It is so funny though, because I do think one of the main things football fans have in common, every football fan, at some point, every single football fan becomes superstitious.
Yeah.
Like, you can't help it. Like, I remember my brother's a Villa fan, and he used to moan about, what's the name of their manager?
Emery.
No, not him now. The one before, Dean Smith.
Oh
Um,
yes.
he used to moan about Dean Smith when they was in a poor run of form because he kept wearing the same jumper.
Oh okay.
So from the minute the first game he wore this jumper, they lost, and then they went on a really bad run of form, and he kept wearing the same jumper. And it
Fucking
was
hell.
like a common thing amongst Villa fans, apparently, that they was moaning about Dean Smith should change his jumper because we keep losing whenever he wears his jumper. And you think
Gotta be done.
that's got nothing to do with it. But you do become really superstitious and you can't help it.
Yeah. Yeah. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Right. I didn't expect. I've got two bits of news here because I've got the first bit, which was a transfer, because I didn't think anything else would happen until Cole Palmer and his broken toe today. We will touch on that. But I will go to Philip Jorgensen suddenly dominating the news cycle. That is not what I expected. Here we are, though. And he wants a new chapter ahead of, obviously, Denmark's World Cup playoffs next year. Playoffs that we shouldn't even bloody be in. If we'd just done the damn job at home against Belarus. Honestly, it's a side. Belarus are a side in the last 2 years, Chris. They've only beaten Luxembourg, Tajikistan, Azerbaijan, and Kazakhstan.
Wow,
That
that's
says it
bad.
all. Yeah. Denmark put 6 past them in Belarus. I mean, for fuck's sake, people want to talk about the Scotland result. I had it at work as well because I really do champion my heritage. Look, ironically, my family did come from Denmark to Scotland to the Midlands, so in a way, we all won.
So
No, look,
win-win for you.
yeah, win-win. Yeah, it was great. Look, I'm not angry about the Scotland result. Going into Hampden is tough. I know that.
Liar.
No, because the problem for me is you should never have been in that position to begin with. You should have handled Belarus at home like a serious team. Instead,
Yeah.
bottled it. That's embarrassing. I'm disgusted because of who it. You could say, well, no disrespect to Belarus. No, all the disrespect to Belarus. They've beaten 4 teams who any other country in the world would easily put 3 or 4 past. You can't. I'm sorry. No, and it's embarrassing. And I would say I would have sacked Brian Reimer on the spot. Do what Sweden did. They realised Thomason was taking them nowhere. They brought in Potter. Will he get him over the line? I don't know, but he's at least it's better to at least change it up and then just repeat the same shit again. I mean, back to Jorgensen though. I understand his mindset because Kasper Schmeichel's it's going to be a nightmare to dislodge. He just keeps playing, and Jorgensen knows he needs regular football to even have a chance of getting in that. I just don't see how he starts anyway. But he needs a club where he's playing week in, week out, and showcasing what he can do. And then he just has to hope Kasper Schmeichel's time at Celtics falls off a cliff. I don't see either happening. And then,
No.
What interesting though is if Chelsea are so insistent though on this, he won't go on loan in January stance. I think you got to be a little careful here. Because if you can't sell him, because that's what they're going to do, they want to sell and bring in a backup. But then that's always hard anyway, because we know Penders is like the prodigy. So you've got to then buy a backup who will probably be shipped out next summer because it's going to be Penders or Sanchez, isn't it? Number 1 and number 2.
Yeah.
And now you've got this weird situation because congratulations, you've pissed him off. Because you've now got a backup goalkeeper in Jorgensen who doesn't want to be here. And that's sending an awful message as well to future signings. And I think this is what I want to just put into this, because you don't want to put a message out that we don't care what you want. We've done it with the bomb squad. And I know some fans are like, oh, yeah, well, we don't want Sterling. Disasi, yeah, they're crap. They're on too much money. I understand that logic, but it can also backfire on you because a goalkeeper or any player who wants to play football, if they're told, no, you're staying, or you're staying here, or whatever, in the bomb squad, they're going to talk. And other players potentially going to be put off joining Chelsea. I think you've got to be very careful with this situation. But I don't see how to solve it. I hate to be someone who brings a problem without a solution, but you've got to now find a backup goalkeeper to Jorgensen. And some people have said Slanina. He can't be much worse than Jorgensen. You don't know that. I don't know. This is a mess. If whatever plays out, I think.
Yeah, it's difficult. I'll be honest with you. I don't understand Jorgensen's stance. I understand he wants to play football, like we all do.
Yeah.
Um, but you've been given opportunities, mate, and you ain't took them. You've been awful, actually. Like
Oh, yeah.
genuinely dreadful. And what I think is stupid is I would understand his stance more if he was at Chelsea and he was trying to dislodge Petr Cech or Thibaut Courtois, and you thought, "Oh, even if I come in for the cup games and get man of the match every game, I'm not going to play here." Your competition is Robert Sanchez, mate. Like, I honestly think that Sanchez has looked better to everybody because of how bad Jorgensen's been. Like, Sanchez has been better as well, but
Yeah,
at
he
the
has
same
been better.
time, I think everyone has a bigger appreciation for Sanchez because Jorgensen's been so bad when he's played. So I don't get where the entitlement of, well, I want to be playing. Yeah, but we've gave you the chance to play and you've fucked it. So that's on you. It, I don't know how you solve the situation because, like you said, we're in a difficult situation with the Penders
Yeah, that's the
problem.
thing. Yeah.
Because what I would say is normally in this situation, I'd just say, well, we'll find somewhere to sell him and we'll just sell him and then
Mm.
bring in like another number two. It's not that hard to sign a number two goalkeeper, let's be honest. But like you said, if we're bringing a number two in January, they're going to be number three next year. So you're looking at someone who is good enough to be a number two now, but is also happy to be number three possibly next year, which is really hard then.
Mm.
Unless you're looking at someone much older, but we don't tend to do that. So I don't know. It's hard. I can't see him going, and I can just see him moaning about it and sort of moping about. But I mean, you came to a club like Chelsea, you know that there's a chance that you're going to end up on the bench because
Yeah.
it's not like he's came with a massive reputation and a glittering career behind him. He'd had like one good season in Spain, so
Mm.
I don't know. I think he's being a little bit hasty. Again, because the person he's trying to dislodge for Denmark is playing really well for Celtic, and is like a legend really
Yeah.
of the Danish national team.
Yeah.
But he's like 38,
Yeah.
so all he's got to do is wait, and you'll naturally be number one anyway because there ain't anyone else, mate.
Can I just
It's
say
you,
actually
really.
he's actually 39. So
That's what I mean. So how much longer has he got to wait? And then even I think being number two at Chelsea is as good as being number one at some other places where Jorgensen would be likely to go
I mean,
in terms of international selection.
Jorgensen has more chance of playing for Chelsea and trying to dislodge Casper than obviously third choice is Mads Hermansen. He hasn't played a single minute since the 13th of September when West Ham lost 3-0 to Spurs. So it's like your competition, it's not hard here.
No,
To be
that's
honest,
what I mean.
speaking as someone that's watched all three, I'd still pick Schmeichel. He's 39. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, don't trust Jorgensen. Don't trust you at all. Suddenly, you put him in goal with respect here, unless he improves, which he could. I watch him and go, he's going to take on North Macedonia. Oh, well, fuck me. Oh, it's going to be
Yeah.
painful. Yeah. Talking of painful, broken toes, and Cole Palmer has one. I was excited. He was back on grass this week. His groin it's all working. It's good, and he stubbed. I'm not laughing because it's painful. I know, but he stubbed his toe. He's broken it, but apparently it's not that big of a deal according to Maresca. And I'm like, well, if it is your little toe that he's apparently stubbed, that's your push. You got to push off with that. How's he gonna? Oh, we're gonna get him in a special boot. I don't know what the fuck is going on here. What the hell is going on here? I don't know.
That's going to be more debilitating than you would think.
It's
Because how are you gonna? I mean, to be fair, one of the main things that you're told in football is be on your toes.
Yeah,
I can't. It's broke, so I've got to run on my heels. I'm afraid. I can't
Oh.
jump. I can't turn quickly. Can't really run. But I can kick it okay with my other foot. I think it's actually really irresponsible of Palmer. Obviously, we need to know the full details of exactly how it happened, but everyone, almost everyone listening at some point has stubbed their toe.
Yeah.
But to stub it and fracture it, for me, you've got to be fucking about. You've got to be doing something stupid. You've got to be kicking a ball around your house and you catch the edge of the table instead.
Unless he was watching us draw 2-2 with Carabag, he just lost his temper and went to kick the bin over, but missed. Happens.
Yeah.
You know
what I mean? Like, I think to fracture it, there's got to be some impact there, hasn't there?
Well, it says here, according to this is the Telegraph's report, so this could change it by the even time you've heard this. I mean, I doubt it. It's like what 7:52 now. But Palmer's left boot's been adapted for him to test on the training ground to help provide more cushion into the air around his injured little toe. Okay. It's hoped that will help him to return to the grass next week and he might be able to play in it. The club, however, hope that if all goes well, he could return in time for Leeds on December 3rd or Bournemouth December 6th. And then it says he's due to see a specialist for a more definitive view. I'd just go, let it heal. I mean, if he's going to miss Barcelona and Arsenal, I'm sorry, but Bournemouth's tough, yes. But Leeds and Bournemouth, realistically, a team of Chelsea's calibre should be winning, especially Leeds. Yeah. I mean, Leeds, oh my word, they've gone off a cliff. But yeah, I'd just let him rest it, let him heal, because what's the point? You're just going to, we've done this song and dance before with other players with other injuries.
Yeah, the fact is as well, though, the fact that it's his left foot, I'm telling you, he's done that having a kickabout in his house and he's kicked the table.
Well, allegedly. We don't.
I'm telling you,
allegedly,
because it's on his stronger foot, and he's obviously hit something at force to fracture his toe. He's playing barefoot in the house, and he's kicked the table. That's what's happened, and that is such a stupid way to get injured when you're just coming back from an injury.
Well, allegedly. I mean, he's got a lot of money because he's trademarked Cold Palmer now. Oh, I don't even think I can say that. Fuck,
no,
he's
you're not allowed to say that.
Oh, God,
from the pod.
Can't do that. It's illegal. Illegal. Oh shit!
He's trademarked.
We're fucked. We're you know what? Moving on from the news, because this is the most. I'm so excited to talk about. This is why we held off. We're heading to Kingsmeadow Corner because Chelsea took on the so-called best team in the world, Barcelona, in the Champions League, and it ended Chelsea 1, Barcelona 1. And this is a game where the result doesn't tell the story. It doesn't. And of course, I've got quickfire winners and losers, but I think this was so worth holding off, not recording, because, oh my God, it was so good to watch. Because you expected one thing, didn't you? You kind of expected us to be outplayed. That didn't happen.
It did not.
Well, go.
We was exceptional, to be fair.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? I won't go for my first winner. I'll go for my second winner on this. And it was Chelsea's performance. Because like I said, it's better than the scoreline. And if you'd have told me yesterday morning that we would have gone toe-to-toe with Barcelona and arguably be the better side, I would have just politely checked your forehead for a fever. Because that's not going to happen. I mean, even at home. But we should have been 3-1 up. But we disrupted their structure. And we disrupted and took control of the tempo of the game. And we looked superior in the key moments. And this wasn't like plucky defiance, you know, this was dominance in phases. I mean, the tactical, I was so blown away by how mature we were and the composure under that Barcelona pressure. It was the most we belong at the top table performance that we have produced this season. And we've had doubts over the team this season. And I think what's excited me is that draw is actually quite important because we've now got 2 left to play. We've got Roma at home, Wolfsburg away. That's tough. But they decide everything. And suddenly we look like we could cement ourselves in that top 4, especially with Wolfsburg to play. And when you go and take on Barcelona head to head, yeah, you've drawn. Okay. Arguably should have won. I'm very confident. And I'm almost gutted we've got an international break now because we were so good. I think that, like I said, I think that's the best performance of the season.
Oh, it's best performance of this season without question. I don't think any other performance this season even comes close. It was nearly flawless, except for not winning the game.
Yeah. I fully agree. You know what? I'll go to my other winner because it's obvious who I've picked. the statement signing, doing statement things. Ellie, Carpenter. This is exactly, and I'll nick what you said to me last night. This is what an elite signing looks like. Every single match that this woman plays, she leaves the fingerprints all over the performance, whether we win, we draw, or Barcelona roll out there, obviously, the death by 1,000 passes routine. It doesn't matter because she's always putting in a minimum 7 out of 10. And that goal, my word, her first Champions League strike for Chelsea. And it's immediately entering the pantheon of goal of the season for the men's and women's Chelsea conversation. And it's a pure thunderbolt. It is a pure I have to, because someone's going to say I didn't press it. And I did. It was a pure thunderbolt. It's the kind where you start filling out that goal of the season ballot before the replay even starts. I didn't think she would shoot. I didn't think it was like Raul Morelos. I've seen people talk about it similar to that.
Oh, it was actually.
God, it was so good. And it got me off my seat, got fans. I mean, she's pivotal to this entire game plan. And she's done it from the first game. I mean, we saw it when she first game WSL season. We're like, hello. Great, Chris, what did you make it? The goal. Come on, the goal.
Oh, unbelievable strike. The whole play for the goal was excellent as well. Like, I don't think you can understate how important Beaver Jones' part in the goal is. The hold-up play, the turn, the way to pass to get Carpenter on her way. And then, I mean, she's just absolutely smashed it, ain't she? She hit it as hard as she could in the general direction of the goal.
Yeah,
and found the top bin. It's a proper Champions League night, big game goal that people will remember. Her overall performance, though, was excellent. I actually don't think there was a bad player on the pitch for us, though. I think that sort of sums up how good the performance was. I don't think there was a player who you looked at and thought she's really below the standard of everyone else. I think Baltimore's work rate was exceptional, but I thought her decision making in the final third especially was really poor. She took like 2 shots from ridiculous angles when the ball should have gone in the box instead. And I think Peng in goal obviously couldn't do anything about the goal and didn't really have anything else to do, which sort of tells you how good we've been. But I think you seen what we missed without Hampton there. Distribution, because I don't know whether you picked up on it, but did you notice that I don't think we passed the ball back to her in open play once?
Oh, we did, and I was very unhappy when Bronze did it. I was just like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
Oh my God, what are you doing? As soon when she did, I was just like, "What have you done?" Like they're gonna press her instantly. There's a player right there. I was like, "Oh my God." Yeah, we do miss it. We do.
We really do miss the distribution of Hannah, because I think people understate how good Hampton is with her feet.
Yes, that's very, very true. On Ellie, I mean, she was pivotal to the game plan, as I've said, and she recovered the ball. I think she had 6 recoveries on the night. It was ridiculous, and look, she'll be kicking herself for missing that late chance. And you know what? I've let her off. I didn't, and that's not a bias. I've let her off because she's not a striker. She's a fullback. She's not used to being one-on-one with the goalkeeper. It happens. And if that was Aggie Beaver Jones, I'd be a bit pissed off because you're a striker. You know this. This is your bread and butter. This less so. That's fine. But the Carpenter train, I've boarded this from the start of the season. I've already ordered the shirt, and I have no regrets. You know what? I think the last 2 Chelsea shirts I've bought were Musovic and Carpenter. So that says this. There you go. There you go. I was well impressed. And you've touched on a negative. I do have a negative. It was Cat Mac, but it's not Cat Mac herself. It's the offside because I'm convinced that the power outage that didn't just hit the stadium, it hit the VAR room, because that offside call is a bit absurd for me. The freeze frame shows she's level. And this is where I'm thinking, is something gone wrong here? Because the lines looked level. My eyesight said level. VAR disagreed, and we got the whole BBC test card and a smooth jazz sax solo during the power cut. So that was a bit 90s, that was. But the throwback to VAR officiating like we were in like the 90s again. What? I'm not convinced.
No, I'm sorry. That is one of the worst offside decisions I've seen, because we've said a lot on this show as well, and people can go back and find it if they want to. But we've moaned about the offside rule in terms of it being stupid when it's millimeters, but we've always said that offside is a matter of fact. So whether you agree with it or not, they are just enforcing the stupid rule. But the red line that they drew is nowhere near Macario.
No.
Look, it's not that red line is not touching her body at all. So what have you drawn that line on? Because you haven't drawn it on the player that we're looking at. You've drawn it. I don't know what you've done. You've basically you've drew the defensive line, and then you've gone, now just draw a line that would be offside.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you say that was the worst. Funnily enough, I've seen. I would see maybe much worse actually was when we were robbed of Niamh Charles' goal against Real Madrid 2 seasons ago.
Yeah, but we didn't have VAR then, did we?
No, that was just hilarious. And the penalty,
that was awful.
The penalty that was outside the box shot. Oh, this is shit. But yeah,
just while we're talking about the Women's Champions League, though, I've got a theory. Well, not a theory. I've got like a suggestion, I think, for the Women's Champions League, because I don't think it should just be a simple case of let's follow the men's format and let's try and keep it all the same. Because I think you do have to accept that, yes, they're the same sport, football, but they're two different games. And I think they have to be treated as such. I think the Women's Champions League, after the league phase, I don't mind this league phase. I think that's fine. That they've followed the same format. I think that's perfectly fine. I think the knockout stages of the Women's Champions League should be straight knockout, FA Cup style.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because I think they've got to stop the dominance of one team, because we completely outplayed Barcelona last night. And still didn't beat them. To do that once is doable, as Arsenal showed in the final last year, a one-off game. To beat this Barcelona team over 2 legs, I think is near impossible. And if you look at it, there hasn't been a Women's Champions League final that hasn't had Barcelona in it since 1920.
Yeah, you're right.
They get to the final every year.
You could, yeah.
If you look at the finals, they've won 3 of them, but they've lost 2 one-off games. In a one-off game, you can beat Barcelona. You can't beat this Barcelona team over 2 legs. Because if you think that if that was a knockout game last night, we've come away with a 1-1 draw, would you back us to go to the new camp and beat them? I wouldn't. I think your chances of going through are still incredibly slim. You could go to the new camp and quite easily lose 4-0. But to beat Barcelona in a one-off game, and to be fair, I said this last year, that I think if we're ever going to win the Women's Champions League, the only way we do it is if we avoid Barcelona until the final. I think we can beat them in the final, as Arsenal did last year, but I don't think we can beat them over 2 legs, as I don't believe Arsenal would have either. If that was the semi-final and Arsenal played Barcelona, they'd have got knocked out. You can't beat this Barcelona team over 2 legs. And I think as for the competition, it would be better if it was straight knockout, just to add that chance of, the dominant team getting knocked out.
I do see your point. I mean, I think 9 years it's been won by Barcelona or Lyon, so the dominance is clearly there. And obviously, Arsenal broke the chain last season, which is good. Yeah. Talking of things that did we bin? What happened to semi-automated offsides? You touched on it. Is that in the drawer next to the European Super League paperwork? I've not seen a single semi-automated offside in the Premier League or in the WSL or the.
No.
What happened to that?
It's a myth. It's a myth. That is.
It doesn't exist.
No, it doesn't exist. I think even even when they show it, I think it's AI generated. I think they just go on like Chat GPT and
That'll do.
show us an image of offside
Yeah, that's
using
it.
people who look like robots.
Oh, nice. I love that. Yeah, job done. Look, our listeners shared their thoughts via Shevva Shoutouts, so I have included you. If you thought you weren't going to be on the episode, you are. Jamali Smith, 10 hours ago, they said this. I don't know whether I've read that bit out. I didn't need to. But you did, 10 hours ago. One person I'm happy we signed for the women's team is Ellie Carpenter. She was really good last night. Damn right she was. And Heat Rave just finished watching the Chelsea women's game with Barca. And all I can say is we need a 5-game winless streak to get our mojo back, because what is this? And oh, yes, that VAR shout to rule off the goal is horrendous and probably the reason we will see the women's team win the Champions League won't see the women's team win the UEFA Champions League in our lifetime. I don't think, because that's moments, isn't it, VAR? I don't think so. No.
I think the thing that'll stop us winning the Champions League is if we don't avoid Barcelona.
Yeah. One-off game, cooked. We'll do it.
Yeah, honestly, in a final, I
Cooking.
would back us. I mean, I know people are going to go, oh, you played them in a final, you lost 4-0.
We did.
And that's fine. But I think we're more experienced now. I think now I would back us in a one-off game, in a final, to beat them. We've got to avoid them in the knockouts. We just have to. Otherwise, we've just got no chance.
Well, yeah, that's pretty accurate. I can't. But yeah, positively, we go into the international break on the back of a incredible performance,
which is what we needed, really.
Exactly. Right, so we're nearly at the end of we are at the end of an international break. So by the time you listen to it, it's over. It's done. The final one of this year, 2025. So pop your champagne corks. We did it, everyone. Hey, we've got another one in March. So but anyway, we get to open up the At the Bridge Pod mailbag, and my word, you outdid yourself this time. So another fellow podcast here. Blue is the colour pod. What are your all-time Premier League midfield threes? Now, I wasn't sure how to take this, because was it my all-time Premier League three who played together for a team, or is it my all-time midfield three? So I kind of did a bit of both. So my all-time midfield three, selecting just 3 players who I think my all-time, who I pick in a midfield three. In their primes, I have gone Kevin De Bruyne, Frank Lampard, and N'Golo Kante. Because I think that's got creativity in it. That's De Bruyne. We've got goals. Well, I mean, Lampard there. And De Bruyne can chip in. And we've got the ball-winning brilliance that's N'Golo Kante. I can't pick. I know someone's going to say, what about Caicedo? What about Makalele? I think Kante just edges Makalele, because they were both very good.
Did. But yeah, I agree. I do think Kante had more to his game than Makalele.
Yeah, it's so tough as well, because I remember watching Makalele, and I was a young kid, but he was pretty good, obviously. But when it comes to an all-time Premier League midfield trio that's played together, that's a bit of a toss-up, because I found myself I went through the stats just to help my brain and think, yeah. So I do have Makalele, Lampard, and Essien, but I also have Kevin De Bruyne, David Silva, and Fernandinho, because my Chelsea bias is there. So I desperately have to pick the Chelsea three. But it is very difficult because they both did different things. So you've got, obviously, Makalele, Lampard, Essien. They had 3 seasons together under Mourinho. They had arguably the most complete midfield unit we've ever seen. Makalele sat at that base. He was influential. They literally named the role after him. You know what he did? He broke up the play, dictated the tempo. You had Lampard producing the outrageous 20-goal seasons from midfield that we touched on in an early episode. And that was the peak. I mean, I think he peaked for a few years, didn't he? Of course, in the noughties. But Essien was the perfect hybrid as well. Power, energy, intelligence, technique. And many forget, before those injuries hit, he was a monster in that midfield. He was so good. And between 05 and 08, each one of them won either Chelsea's Player of the Year or Players' Player of the Year. I think that just says enough about it. It does. And obviously, yes, someone's going to say, well, you just said about the City trio. Yeah, well, they were the heartbeat of the Centurions. I can't be too ignorant to how good that's it. It's irrelevant of how, 115 charges, but I've got to look at I've still got to look at the team in front of me. You know, Silva, he's one of the most underrated players ever. I think. I don't think anyone ever talks about him. It's like, yeah, he was really good. Fernandinho he was the ultimate tactical midfielder, doing the naughty, dirty work. And look, De Bruyne is probably the league's most devastating creator. I'm a Chelsea fan. If you force me to choose, I'm taking the Stamford Bridge trio because someone's going to bollock me if I don't. But they're incredible, incredible. What do you think?
It is tough, isn't it? I think if I'm picking my three, who just like three players, and I think what people don't realise, and they're always quick to jump on your opinion, but if you're only picking three Premier League all-time midfielders, you're going to leave some fucking good players out.
Oh yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? But mine would be Kante, Lampard, Cesc Fabregas.
Ooh, yeah.
The only reason I think, for me personally, Fabregas just edges Kevin De Bruyne is I think he did it in a more difficult era of the Premier League, in my opinion. Three that played together though, I mean, Lampard, SCM, Makelele, like I don't really know how you look past that as a midfield three, because all three of them are like world-class players. SCN only for a short period of time, but that was down to injuries. I think he would have been in the conversation for best Premier League midfielders ever if he'd stayed fit, I think. He's very like a Yaya Toure. Like, he probably wouldn't get in there, but he'd be in the conversation. Another City one, though, I think, was the Fernandinho, David Silva, Yaya Toure.
Yes. Oh my word, yes.
Like, that was a really, really good midfield. Like, I think Yaya Toure scored like 20 goals that year. David Silva, I think, is one of the best midfielders the league's ever seen, without question. And to be fair, I think Fernandinho is probably a little bit underrated for what he did. It's interesting, though, isn't it, when you do these things, because really, hands down, Rodri should have been in this team because he's won a Ballon d'Or. I honestly just wouldn't put Rodri in there, though. I like Rodri. I don't. He's another person where you look at it and you think, "Oh, has he won a Ballon d'Or though?" Like, he's good, but
it's not a real trophy.
Nah, I don't know. I do think he's been a little bit overrated. So no, not for me. So for me, Lampard, Fabregas, Kante, if I'm picking one, and then one that actually played together, it's still got to be Lampard, Makelele, Essien. It just has to be.
I gave up on the Ballon d'Or in 2013 when Frank Ribery got robbed. I gave up on that. I was like, oh, fuck it. It's no point. It's a popularity contest. Ribery was the rightful winner of that.
It is. It's the football equivalent of Eurovision.
Yeah, exactly. NJ Brandt's dropped one. Now, this is a really good question. This is what they've said. I think the true test of Cole Palmer is whether he can find a way to fit back into this team. What do you think? That's a good question. It's a clever question, because you could get this clipped and you go, and Cole Palmer can't get this team. But I do see the point of the question.
Yeah, I do. I mean, he will get back. He will get back in the team because
he's Cole Palmer.
He's better. Yeah, and he's better than anyone else who's played number 10 in his absence. It's really whether, if Maresca keeps wanting to play Neto, it's how do you get Palmer and Estevao in the same team? It's going to be the problem. Like, one of them can't play. Like, you'd imagine it would be Estevao. But I think there's only so long that you can ignore a player of his talent before he starts getting annoyed that he isn't starting games. I understand he's young and people keep going, I don't want to throw him in at the deep end, but I just think when you're that talented, he's going to want to play football and regularly starting games. I just think Palmer will come back in, and I think eventually Maresca will get over this Neto obsession and just play Esteval on the right and Palmer as the 10. And I think then that's a team where when you see that team sheet come out, you'll want to watch the game just for those two players.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a very good point, actually. Alex, who would you want us to sign in January and then in the summer? Right, I can't keep screaming a pure top class striker, so I won't. We're not going to do it. We're not going to do it. We've got one. He's at Strasbourg. Look, I want, though what I do want a tall, strong, built-in a lab defender that wouldn't look out of place next to Miles Garrett in the NFL for me. So naturally, I've gone with Antonio Rudiger. I mean, he's likely leaving Madrid at the end of the season on a free. Likely. We don't know for certain. So bring him home. Bring him back to Stamford Bridge. And he's a leader. He'd certainly get this young squad into touch, I'm sure. And January, I've got to upset some Sunderland fans that don't listen to this show. I'd go for Dan Ballard. He's really impressed me this season. He's really, really impressed me. I'd go Dan January and then get Rudiger in the summer.
To be honest, realistically, I don't want us to sign anyone in January. I think January signings are difficult. I think you overpay. I think you can get caught up in someone having a good 6 months and then when you sign them and realise, oh, actually, they're not that good. I don't think you'll sign like top class players who come in and elevate your team in January. I think it's really difficult to do that, especially with our stupid policy of them having to only just pass their driving test. The only one, if available, would be Mark Gahey.
Yeah, that's a very good shout.
I think if Liverpool go in for him again and so they open the door for people to offer, I think he'd be a brilliant signing. Premier League proven, knows the club already, good leadership, like he's been captain of Palace. You're still young enough that he's going to grow and hold his value. That's all they really care about. But experienced enough that he can come in and help the players we've already got.
Yeah.
So he'd be the only one. If he was available in January, I would jump all over that. But if anyone but him, probably not. In the summer, I don't know. I think it's too early to say because I think you have to see where we finish first.
That is true. Yeah, I can't disagree with anything with that.
I would love Rudiger back though. I've seen some Chelsea fans though really dead against that, which I'm interested to know why.
Yeah, I don't get. Look, at the end of the day, I see some people. I don't know if this is the reason. I know some people have complained, which I understand their point of view with him leaving on a free, and in the time of need. And at the time,
we couldn't offer him a new contract.
We literally, legally, which I'm not going to rant about. I've got my opinion on how we were stolen from the government, but whatever. Look, we couldn't literally offer him a deal, and again, he didn't know what was going to happen in the summer. Now, if we can't offer him a deal and he gets another injury, because remember, he had a knee injury before. If that happens, we ain't going to offer him a new deal. You wouldn't. Common sense. Come on. You're not going to, if he's ripped his knee open, I don't think they would. So he's like, I need to preserve my career and my family. And I understand that logic. And then you've got the other hand of, at the end of the day, we didn't offer him a deal before that. So we didn't show our commitment. and then he's got to wait for new owners. Will the new owners give me a deal? I did understand the thought process there. Yeah. I'd love to know what the listeners. Actually, yeah, we'd love to know what you think. Would you like Rudiger back? Let us know in the comments. Jamie, this is a classic quote. This is a good one. Which ex-Chelsea player who was considered a flop during their time at the club do you think would have been a success if they played for the current squad? Anyone of any era? It's
the
brilliant.
flop list is too long, isn't it?
It's very good. I've got two. So this could be very wrong. I've got Juan Cuadrado because he's very wrong era, wrong system. I mean, he was thrown into that 4-2-3-1 under Mourinho and told to track back. He don't do that. He don't do that. That's not him. Under Maresca, though, he'd be playing high and wide. He'd be a winger. He'd be showing the ball carrying. He'd destabilise those low blocks. And he's very good at one-on-ones. He showed that at Juventus. And
Yeah,
he cooked back lines in the Serie A. I mean, it's a bit slower league. But again, low blocks and all that, I think he'd be quite good. Second player is someone we mentioned on the Monday show. And I think you mentioned them. Juan Sebastian Veron. Again, a Serie A player. He was judged partially because the Premier League in the early noughties, that was you said about Fabregas, about the different era. I mean, the early 2000s of the Premier League was a cage fight. It was pretty physical. And Veron wasn't. He was not that player. But if you dropped him into this possession-heavy positional play system, I think he'd do very well because of that he's a press-resistant midfielder. And he was kind of like that in Lazio. And he could pass the ball. My word, he could pass the ball. Again, we didn't see it in the Premier League, but he could. I think he'd do really, really well. And plus, in this Premier League of 2025, he wouldn't have to deal with Roy Keane flying through his shin every 15 minutes. So I think he'd do all right.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, honestly, listeners, I promise you, forget what you know about Veron. Just watch him at Lazio, watch his best bits, and you'll just go, wow, you'll get it. You'll get why Man United spent the money and why we thought maybe we could do it. Yeah, it's worth it. What do you think?
I think there's a case to be made for Fernando Torres.
It's not a flop. I won't have it.
No, I agree, but the question was seen as one, and by the majority,
you're good. Love that.
He was seen as a flop. And I think that's because of the strikers that had come before him and the fact that we still had Drogba, so he was being compared to that. I think if we signed Torres now, and he came in and did exactly what Torres did for us, we'd be comparing him to the shit we've had over the past few years, and everyone would go, "He's all right. He's actually quite decent." I think as he went on, I actually think his sort of link play and that was ahead of its time in a way, because you've got to remember when he was doing that and he kind of adapted to become more of a link player in his last couple of years at Chelsea, especially. Strikers were still heavily judged on goals, but now people love to bring up goal involvements and but he does all this stuff off the ball. He drops into these pockets of space, and he does all this good link play. So I think he'd probably be more suited to like latter stage Fernando Torres.
Yes, that's
the one that Chelsea had.
Yeah,
would be more suited to the way football is now, because I think people are more lenient now on strikers who don't score goals.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Lewis, which Chelsea manager passed? No, sorry, I've gone done too quick here. Sorry. It's Tommy. Which current Chelsea player is the biggest system player? Someone who looks elite in one setup but ordinary outside it. That's tough. On one hand, I'm so cruel here. On one hand, Malo Gusto could be considered because he thrived when we had the attacking wing backs under Poch. And then you put him outside that system and he looked a bit ordinary, let's be honest, under Maresca. So it does work the system. And now I'm starting to I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm going to say Liam Delap kind of fits the narrative because You put him in a relegation fodder team who'll never have the ball, never have to face a low block. He's top class. He really is top class. So until he learns how to deal with that, he looks a bit ordinary at Chelsea. And that's a real shame. That's the question. And that's what I'm going with, Liam Delap.
Yeah, I think you're right, though.
It sucks. I like him, but it's true.
It is tough because I don't think there's that many players that we have who are thriving in our system. So it's difficult, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's not like everyone's flying and you think, oh, they're really good at this, but would you sign them somewhere else? I think that people are going to hate this. This is going to get. I can hear the Spotify comments already.
Ooh.
There's a case to be made for Enzo Fernandez.
Oh my word! Wow.
I think we've seen the best of Enzo, and we've seen the worst of him, and I think it is very based around the system.
Actually no. I'm with you. I do see your point.
Yeah, because I think if you ask him to do certain things, he looks like an absolutely shocking player who shouldn't be anywhere near the Premier League. But then the way Maresca set up last season, especially, you saw an Enzo Fernandez that looked every bit the £100 million player we thought we was getting. So I do think it is the system that that unlocks him. Definitely. I do think Gusto was a good shout. I think Gusto is a traditional up and down fullback, and outside of that, he can't really do much more.
I will say one thing that's just made me realise a player who's immune to systems, Reece James. He's played in arguably 3 different teams, and he's been top class. Like even when we've criticised him as an inverted fullback, he's now getting into the rhythm and being quite good at it. So he's been top class with Poch. He's been top class with Maresca. Top class with Tuchel. Fucking hell! What a player! That's something to. No one talks about that.
It'd be like Cole Palmer would be the same. I think you put Cole Palmer in any system and he'll find a way to thrive in it because that's what quality players do.
Yeah. You know what? We'll round it off with a silly question from Lewis because I nearly read it out earlier. Which Chelsea manager, past or present, would win in a Royal Rumble? I went with no hesitation here. Antonio Conte. That man tackles like he's trying to reclaim land for Italy. He does. You could try stopping him. You'd probably crack a rib in the process because he's fiery. He's unhinged. And he's unhinged at times. I mean, he's perfect, isn't he? He's the kind of guy who storms down the ramp already shouting, throws 3 managers over the ropes before that bell's rung. And he's, oh, man, I don't know what his tune. What would his tune be? The Suffering or something? What would his nickname be? The Suffering or something? I mean, you could book him easily as well as the passionate, angry villain.
Yeah, you could.
I can't think of anyone. You could put Potter in.
Honestly, my initial thought to this question was Conte, but winning a Royal Rumble is a tactical game.
Ah,
I think it's got to be Jose.
Yeah,
some underhand tactics, rolling out under the bottom rope and hiding under the ring. Yeah, like he did in the laundry basket, popping up at the end, throwing Conte over the rope when he was looking.
Oh, fuck
yeah, I'd have to go Jose,
I'm cooking that. I love that. That's on. Right. Well, thank you for your questions, listeners. And with that means because the international break is over, it is time for a match preview. We are having a quiet one. We're heading up north, taking on Burnley at don't know what that accent was, at Turf Moor. So the Scoop, they're 17th in the Premier League with 3 wins, 1 draw and 7 defeats. Recent form is 2 wins and 3 defeats. Spotlight time. I've heard good things about Jadon Anthony, as well as midfielder Florentina. So those are 2 names right there. Have a look. Last time Burnley beat Chelsea was on my birthday. Oh, this is a throwback. 12th of August 2017. Wouldn't be a preview if I didn't tell you what the UK number 1 was. It was Feels by Calvin Harris Farrell, Katy Perry and Big Sean. So we are we'll go straight to Lion of the Week. We're going to pick our Lions because I was going to go straight to Blue versus Who. That'd be a bit too quick. Let's get the Lions locked in. It's a bit of a tough one, really. Would have picked Cole Palmer, but he's not playing.
You know what? It's hard to pick this because after the international goes, I don't know who's fucking going to play again.
Who's not injured? Who's not had a long flight?
Fucking none of them.
No. Doubt it's Enzo. He won't play.
He won't start, but I'm going Esteban.
Yeah. He had a great game, didn't he, in the debut? In Brazil game.
He's top class. He just is.
Will went with Reece James. I like it.
Not a bad show. Yeah.
Well
done, Will.
You know what? Back-to-back picks, Garnacho. See what he can do against a low block. Let's go. Blue versus who? Let's end our match preview with it. This is interesting, actually. Number 1. First question. Who is Burnley's record signing? And I'll give you a bonus point, Chris, if you can name their second record signing.
Fucking hell. I don't fucking know.
I promise you, when you find out, you're going to go, what? Yeah.
Right. Can you give me a clue? Can you tell me how much they were?
28 and 23 million.
So their record signing is £28 million.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who the fuck have Burnley signed for £28 million?
Yep. This is according to Transfermarkt.
Are they still there?
Oh, yes, they're certainly still there. Some might say they've not even completed a season yet.
But someone they signed this year?
Oh, yes. Both are.
No way.
Yes.
Their record signings they signed this season.
Yep.
Fucking hell. I bet that shit.
Yeah. It's going to be great when you know the names. Oh, my word. You know them well.
Is one of them Broya?
Yes, 23 million.
Fucking hell, we absolutely rinsed them there, didn't we?
We did better. Their number 1 signing, another player we know well. Well, he didn't play that much for us, but...
Oh, Leslie Okachukwu.
Yeah, it's mad when I saw that. I had to put it in the questions because I'm just like, what the fuck did we do? How did we do that?
Embarrassing.
That's like...
Fucking hell.
With respect, with that much money spent, you're expecting 2 top players to improve your team. I'd argue neither two.
Leslie's all right. Has been decent for them.
But still, wow. Number 2, when Burnley last beat Chelsea, was on the 12th of August, 2017. We had 2 players sent off that day. I want you to name those players.
Nemanja Matic was one.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, no, that was Mourinho, yeah, wasn't it?
This is a real surprise.
Oh, this was opening game of the season. Conte, Morata came off the bench and scored to get us back in the game. Oh,
two legends. Then they're definitely one's already been mentioned on this show today. Not Kante. He's too nice.
Gary Cahill.
Friend of the show.
He got sent off quite early, I think.
And the second player, you mentioned him.
Oh, Cesc Fabregas.
Cesc Fabregas. And third and final, put these former Blue players in order of when they first joined Burnley. So I've got Broya, I've got Gary Cahill, I've got Danny Drinkwater, Ian Matson, and brother of Trevor, Nathaniel Chalobah.
Can you say him again?
So I've got Broya, Cahill, Drinkwater, Matson, Nathaniel Chalobah.
Danny Drinkwater, Ian Matson, Chalobah.
If you want an easy one, Broya's the most recent, obviously.
Yeah. Well, that would have been my guess.
Yeah, he's locked in at 5th spot.
So I think there's probably going to be some overlap.
Yeah.
Hold on, was Cahill? I don't remember Gary Cahill at Burnley.
I'd run with that.
So he's got to be first.
He has 2004. He was on loan there.
Fuck me. Then Chalobah.
Chalabar was 2014. Yes, 10 years later.
And then Drinkwater was after he left us, but Maatson was there and then came to us. I'm going to say Drinkwater.
Yep,
next,
2019.
And then Maatson fourth.
Maatson 2022, ending with Bro on 2025. Nicely done. Nicely done. And that's it, because Lone Armies, no, we're not doing Lone Army because there's nobody here.
Oh, I win again.
You win again. Winning
Well done,
by
mate.
default. And you know what? Listeners, we're at the end of another episode. Wasn't quite on Thursday, but hey, we had to give the women's team their full moment in the spotlight because they deserved it. And what a game. It was worth it. It was worth staying up for if you're in countries that obviously the times are. You get my point, listener. You get my point. So thank you for tuning in. But don't forget, we're proudly partner of Head in the Game, mental health charities in football, sport, wellbeing, and community. Check them out at headinthegame.co.uk. Treat yourself well, because we'll be back on Monday. Winners and losers with Burnley. So yeah, Scott Parker derby. So until then, that will be us signing off.
You've been listening to At the Bridge Pod, a Chelsea FC podcast. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram by searching for At the Bridge Pod. And if you're listening on Apple or Spotify, leaving us a review is always appreciated.